Hi, everybody. R.Paige Smith with NASCAR Network. We're here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania today at Independence Hall with democracyspring.org as they kick off their March to D.C. right here live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We'll be here all day bringing you those interviews and those stories that help support their cause for what they're trying to accomplish in changing how elections are run today and the billions of dollars that are sponsored into the federal electorate process. All right. I'm here with the ladies from We Will Not Be Silent. Now, who's the we?
We are the Granny Peace Brigade, Philadelphia.
The Granny Peace Brigade, Philadelphia. Now, you're out here today in this rain. Tell me, why is this important to you?
Well, first of all, we are grandmothers who do not want our grandchildren or anybody's grandchildren to go to war. Today, we're here to protest all the money that is being spent in politics and the way elections are skewed based on financial contributions. And a lot of those people who get elected with a lot of corporate money are in favor of going to war. So we say, get them out of politics, get the money out of politics, and restore the right to vote. I don't know if people know, but the right to vote is slowly being demolished across the country. And this Democracy Spring is going to be an effort to put that vote back and bring back.
How can people find out more about your organization?
Our organization, they can go online to grannypeacebridgephiladelphia.org. We are also on Facebook as Granny Peace Brigade.
Is coming. Make some room, 'cause freedom is growing when love is in bloom.
Well, everybody knows, voters know in their hearts that our system is corrupt. You know, that our campaign finance system has created a system where our politicians no longer work for us. They work for the people who pay their bills. And, 30 to 70% of the time of a congressman is spent raising money. So we're headed to Washington because nothing's happening. And we are going to demand changes. We would like to see citizen-funded elections. We want to go back to the way it was. Ronald Reagan was the last president to be elected with partial matching funds, public money. We want to see the end of the pay-to-play system where legislators who sit on committees get donations so that they can steer federal contracts to to a federal contractor.
So would it be safe to say that many politicians spend most of their time getting donors to back elections and keep them in office versus focusing on the issues that affect the average citizen in the United States?
Oh yeah, the amount of time that's being spent. Just as a voter, just dial up and see if you can get an appointment in Washington, in the Washington office for your elected representative. As a voter, I should be able to call up and be able to do that. And the time is being made for the people who are paying the bills. Now, there's the super PAC money. Now, this is something that has just flooded my state, New Hampshire, with millions and millions of dollars. And even though they're not supposed to be coordinating, with their super PACs, you and I both know that they know exactly who's making donations to their super PACs.
The fates of others. Moses, the formerly depressed runaway.
Guys, good morning. I'm here with Kirk Reese from democracyspring.org. Welcome to NASCAR.
Thank you.
So you got a big day today. Tell us all about it.
So, this is the kickoff of the Democracy Spring campaign. We've got a 10-day march from Philadelphia to Washington, D.C., followed by a week of civil disobedience sit-ins at the Capitol. Essentially, we're bringing a very simple demand to Congress to give us free and fair elections where every American has an equal voice and to end the corruption of big money in politics. We have a government that does not represent or work for the people. That's fundamentally wrong. We're not going to be able to make the progress on all the urgent crises of our time, whether it's climate change, the prison industrial complex, healthcare and education for all, without a government that represents everyday people. And so we're coming together and taking a stand to get that government.
Now, as Democracy Spring came into being, what was the key motivating factors for putting together this organization?
So Democracy Spring is a coalition of over 120 organizations that understand that money in politics, the corruption of our government by big money interests, donors, billionaires, corporations, is at the root of so many issues of our time. I mentioned just a moment ago. And so it's really a collective effort to understand that in order to make progress in all the fights, in order to that we care about, in order to improve the lives of millions of Americans across the country and of billions of people across the world, that because of Americans, predominance in international politics, that we have to fix our broken democracy. And so the motivation was seeing our communities suffering, seeing people essentially getting left behind while the rich get richer and richer, seeing climate change go out of control and not have any end in sight, and that we have to take bold collective action. And history shows that mass civil disobedience on a historic scale, whether it's in the civil rights movement, whether it's in the suffrage movement, whether it's in the trade union movement, can have the power to radically shift the political climate, and that's what we're looking to do.
What are the 5 top goals for Democracy Spring?
The goal is to overall shift the total political weather. Just like Occupy did with economic inequality, we want to do that with political inequality. We want to change the conversation and change the political realities. In terms of concrete reform items that we're putting before Congress, there are 4 bills that are on their desk that they could pass tomorrow if they had the courage and conviction to do so. 2 on voting rights, 2 to curb and eventually eliminate the corruption of big money in politics. And so we're calling them to do that right now, to take immediate action. And then 5th would be that they could actually give the Supreme Court justice that's being nominated an up or down vote and hold them accountable to overturn Citizens United and take a strong stance on political equality.
Now, you talk about Democracy Spring being comprised of over 100 organizations. What does collective success look like? If all your goals, if you guys are successful, what does success look like in terms of changes in how our political system is run today?
Success in the short term looks like a changed conversation around what a real representative democracy looks like, again, in a similar way that Occupy did with economic inequality. It was taboo and just totally not okay to talk about class in this country before 2011, and now you have Bernie Sanders' campaign that is constantly referring to the 99% and the 1%. You have Fight for 15 making incredible victories for working class people. We need the same thing for political equality that's actually going to give everyday people a voice in government. More concretely, we need an amendment that overturns Citizens United and it replaces our big money corrupt system of funding elections with small dollar publicly funded elections, and that would also come through legislation to get those publicly funded elections.
So, guys, you heard it directly from Kirk Rise, a member of Democracy Spring. No more big money elections. Every voice, every vote should count. And quite frankly, Kurt and I should be able to run for president if we want to, right?
That's right.
So that's the goal. Listen, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.